Biden's already warning us that there might be election shenanigans just in 2 days from now.
We know that more and more ballots are cast in early voting or by mail in America. We know that many states don't start counting those ballots till after the polls close on November 8th. That means in some cases we won't know the winner of the election for a few days until a few days after the election. It takes time to count all legitimate ballots in a legal and orderly manner.
This concept, though, that they're prepping people to just not expect election results on election night, it's gotten worse and worse over the last couple of years. But now they're just outright telling you, hey, we just got to figure out enough time to get the results we want.
I'm young. I'm only 42. When in the history of modern politics have we gotten used to the idea that you do not know the results as a rule on election day itself? It's occasionally happened when there was litigation. I remember back in 2000. But now it's become the rule that you have your elections and then it takes you a few days, sometimes a week, to count the ballots. This is a devolution of technology, not an evolution. I don't know if that's the right word, but we're regressing. This is not progress.
Two factors that I think everybody's got to pay attention to. And I mark this down because if it happens, you heard it here first. One is that in Georgia, the state you're in, there's a good chance that Herschel or Warnock doesn't get to 50%. And because there's a third party candidate on the ballot, and if it doesn't get to 50%, we got to go to a runoff, and that's in another month. So we may not know, right? In Pennsylvania, they have already been saying that don't expect election results to be finished on election night, that it could be a week before you get final election results. I live in the state of Florida. We're going to have our election results done by about 8:30 Eastern time or 9:30 Eastern time, like an hour after the polls close. They're done. They've got it, right? The fact that we have a state that can't count their votes for a week, up to a week, is insane to me.
Why is that? Like, what's the deal? Like, counting it
I don't know. But here's that. Then you're going to see total chaos. I mean, the stuff that everybody's dreading is what you're going to see, because if Republicans could get to 51 on election night without Pennsylvania and Georgia, there's going to be a little air let out of the balloon. But if it's 50 Republicans and then these two races will decide whether the Democrats or the Republicans control the Senate, everything you've dreaded, from
the Civil War scenario.
Everything you've dreaded by the way, James, you'll have to see 7 million more political ads for the next month. There will be voter fraud charges out of Pennsylvania. There will be voter fraud charges out of Georgia. There will be protests. There will be chaos. There will be violence. There will be all of these things. And no one's talking about this yet. But that's what I would say that I'm looking at and going, if Republicans get to 51, then a little of that air is let out of the balloon. There'll still be a big fight. There'll still be a lot of chaos. But if Georgia and Pennsylvania are not decided on election night, and it is 50 Republicans now and 46 Democrats, 2 independents, and then these 2 races decide the Senate, oh my God, it is going to be bad. It is going to be bad. Bad for our country, bad for our culture, bad for everything.